Hello and welcome to Attack at Uman. This is a standalone scenario for the new Chain of Command 2 rules and was written by Nick Skinner for the Wargames Soldiers and Strategy magazine. In March 1944, the Soviet Second Ukrainian Front launched the Uman-Botasani offensive. Its objectives were to destroy the German 8th Army, seize the critical transport hubs of Uman and Botasani, and open the gateway to Romania, a wavering Axis ally. The 232nd Rifle Division of the Soviet 40th Army was assigned to breach a local German strongpoint guarding a river crossing east of Uman. This scenario is a delaying action. The Germans must hold off the Soviet advance as they attempt to outflank and roll up the German position. The side holding the objective marker at the game's end wins, and the ticking clock and the final countdown are in play. Right, let's have a look at the map for the scenario. The Germans will be based in a 12 by 24 inch rectangle as indicated by the white box here. The objective is marked with the red star, and the Soviets will be starting on the right hand side of the table as we look. Both of these marked areas for the platoons are for the start of the patrol phase. And here's a Russian platoon that's been given the task to take on the Germans. Headquarters is led by Lt Alexi Furkov, and he has an inferior leader sergeant and a sniper team. There's 3 sections, 2 are light, consisting of an LMG and 6 riflemen, and also a junior leader sergeant. And the 3rd section is heavy, has a sergeant and 2 LMGs. I rolled 9 points for support. They're not allowed any mortars, so I went for a Maxim MMG with 5 crew, a scout section and junior leader, and the good old commissar. Defending the crossing is Unterfeldwebel Eddie Kruger, along with the rest of his gang. He has 3 identical sections, 1 junior leader, 1 MG34 and 6 riflemen. The MG34 comes with 3 crew. Support for them was a total of 4 points. They're not allowed any mortars or engineers, so I went for an MG42 tripod mounted, which is entrenched and comes with 5 crew and an adjutant. The Germans have 3 jump-off points as indicated by the black crosses here. 1 at the top edge of the table, 1 on the objective, and 1 at the bottom edge of the table behind a small rise. The Soviet jump-off points are indicated by the red crosses and are all on the right hand side of the table as we look. Both platoons will start with a force morale of 10, and the Soviets will have 1 chain of command point at the start of the game. And after all of those prelims, I think it's time to get going. Well, what will be the Soviet plan? That's the objective over there, that little white building. Now they have got some good line of sight blockers here with these trees. And further back here on the left near their rear left jump off point. So that's definitely one avenue of approach there. Maybe pushing up the scout squad there. It's very open here, so I'm not quite sure about this one. But further on the right, this jump off point behind this little rise, maybe I ought to put down a fire base there and perhaps get up into those trees. The rest of that though is fairly open. So it looks as though it's going to be an attack from the left. Soviets are attacking, away we go. 2 1s and 2 4s, not overly useful. So 2 1s added together, that'll make a section, and I'm going to push out the scout section here, using the trees as cover from line of sight. And that is it. Now the Germans get 2 chain of command points, a 1, a 3 and a 4. On a 1. So it's no great surprise that the tripod mounted MG42 is going to get deployed here in an entrenchment. They can't go on Overwatch because there's no junior leader with them. On a 3 they'll deploy one of the sections just to the front of this jump off point on the high ground here, MG34 on the left and the rest of the squad on their right, and the junior leader will place them in Overwatch. And that's it for the Germans. 3 chain of command points for the Soviets and 2 3s. So I'm thinking I'm going to put the heavy section down here so they can get in amongst these trees and start to give some cover fire against the buildings. These LMGs have 4 crew each, and of course they got their junior leader with them. On the other three, this scout section will move up into the woods, but not go towards the front edge. In fact, they'll move tactically. Oh dear. Right, well there we go. Going to be a long advance. And that's it for the Soviets. 6-0 for the Germans. 1 chain of command, 1, 2, 4. So I think at the moment the Germans are quite happy where they are. The junior leader with this section will put them tactical, give them a bit of cover, and the MG42 will continue to scan in front of them. Right, first double phase for the Soviets. So that's that, and a 3 and 2 4s. So on one of the 4s, the inferior leader, the sergeant, will deploy here and get the heavy section to move forward to the trees on the left as we look. God blimey, they are being very, very careful. Well, there we go, can't do much else there. And the scout section will continue to move tactically into those trees. Oh dear. End of phase. 2 3-3s and a 4 for the Germans, but they are quite happy where they are at the moment. Soviets. So 2 chain of commands, that's now a full dice. 2 1s and a 4. Right, we'll try again. The inferior leader on a 4 will tell this section to move forward. I'll go to the edge of those trees, which they do this time. That's 1 command initiative, and I guess he can move up himself. And he goes 9, which is nicely up behind that section. On a 1, I'm going to activate the sniper team. They're going to deploy from here up to 12 inches into cover, which means they can get forward to the trees. So here they are, and they can see the German section milling around on the top of that high ground. They'll have a go. So 1 dice, needing a 3, gets a 4, counts as in the open, 3-4 shock, 5-6 kill, shock is doubled. No effect. Now the German section can attempt to spot the sniper because they're on overwatch, so they need a 6 after the first shot. So the sniper remains hidden. That's the end of the Soviet phase. 6-0 for the Germans, 1 chain of command point, 1 2 4. German MG42 has seen some movement in the trees over there. They're going to open up. Ordinarily it would be light cover, but it's a tripod mounted, so it's reduced by 1, and the cover counts as open. The range is 32 inches, so it's effective range rather than close range. 10 dice, hitting on 5s. And that's a total of 5 hits. So 2 on the left team, 3-4 shock, 5-6 kill. Oh, no effect. Got away with that. And 3 on the right. Well, that's 3 kill. Has a leader been hit? No. That gun is immediately down to 1 operator. And I think that's it for the Germans. 6-0, 1 chain of command, and 3 3s. Right, scout section. Do they make a dash for it over there? Crikey. I don't really want to, but I've got to do something. The attack is not going particularly well or quickly. 3 dice, going for it. They'll take some shock. They go 11, which just about gets them behind those trees there. However, the Germans will open fire as they're coming across this gap. Effective range, 6 dice for the rifleman, 8 for the MG34. Hitting on 5s. That's crunchy 7 hits. So I've just moved these back into the gap, and let's see what happens. They're in the open. This might be a catastrophic failure by the junior leader. 1 kill. Come back to that in a minute. And no effect. Ooh, lucky. Right, here's the kill on the junior leader. No, it's not. So matey catches it up, but it does mean the scout section have crossed the ground and just lost 1 casualty. And now they're out of line of sight. A gamble worth taking. On one of the other 3s, the heavy section will open fire, but before that happens, the junior leader will take 1 crew member from the right-hand team and put him with the left-hand team, even those out a bit. And then they'll open fire on the MG42 over by the objective. 2 LMGs here, total of 12 dice, hitting on 5s at the MG42 in the entrenchment. Just the 2 hits. It's all just one team, but they are in hard cover. 5 shock, 6 kill. Well, there we go. That's a kill. The third and final 3, another section deploying from this jump off point into the dead ground here. And of note, this section only has 3 crew members for this LMG. Right, that's the chain of command dice used. However, I'm going to reposition this sniper now, and he's going to go forward to this bunch of trees. They can go up to 18 inches for 3 chain of command points. So away they go. And they're going to pop up there. And the Russians are now down to 4 chain of command points. And there they are. They've snuggled around nicely there, and they're ready to start taking on that MG42. German phase. 1 chain of command point. They're now on 5. 1, 1, 3, 4. Right, on a 3, the junior leader here with the section on top of the rise. He'll put the MG34 on overwatch in that gap. And the rifleman will do suppressing fire on the wood to their front. On a 1, it'll be no great surprise that the MG42, tripod mounted, will be shooting again at the Soviet heavy section in the woods. 10 dice, hitting on 5s. Just the 3 hits this time. So 2 hits on the left team. Counters in the open, 3, 4 shock, 5, 6 kill. 1 kill. Come back to that in a minute. And 1 shock. Now, is the kill on a junior leader? No, it's not. So old matey's gone there. But the Soviet heavy section are still in action. Soviet phase. 6 does nothing. 2 chain of command points. That's a full dice again. A 1 and a 2. Right, the scout section are going to move up to here, so they're back 4 inches from the edge of the wood and can't get hit by the MG42. 8 minus 1, 7, that's probably just about perfect. Can't take any shock off at the moment because I want to activate the sniper, who will have a pop at the bobbing heads behind the fence. Needs a 3. That's a hit. So we roll as if it's in the open, 3, 4 shock, 5, 6 kill. And that's another kill, straight between the eyes. And the machine gun team here are looking a bit worried. Right, German phase. Well, if we're playing Yahtzee, it's a large straight. Nice one, Centurion, but we're not. Anyway, so there we go, chain of command. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ernter Feldwebel Kruger is going to come out of the jump-off point here. And he's got 3 command initiatives, and we got the adjutant off table, so I haven't got to worry about the rest of the gang deploying. And he will get the gun to open up. 10 dice. 3 hits. This Soviet section has taken a bit of a pounding. Right, let's see what happens here. And that's a kill. Leave that there a minute. And a point of shock. Here's the kill on a leader. No. So the near gun team is down to 1 operator. They're just about okay for shock at the moment though. Well, I'm not quite sure about this one, but I'm going to allow Kruger to have a spot on the sniper. Needed a 6, so that's no good. I don't think he can do anything else at the moment. But I think the Germans need some extra firepower, and I'm going to deploy another section from their left-hand edge of table jump-off point. So there's the newly deployed section on the left as we look, firing at the Soviets in the trees over here, who will get light cover this time. 11 dice, effective range, hitting on 5s. 5 hits. 2 hits on the left, 3 on the right teams. It's 4, 5 shock, 6 kill. 1 kill. 1 kill. Now, is a leader hit? No. So that team is gone. It only had 1 operator. And the other team loses 1 as well. So this team here, one operator, you got the junior leader there with 2 shocks, so they're not quite pinned yet, but I need to roll a bad things happen for that team being wiped out. 6, oh dear, minus 2. Soviets are on 8 force morale, and this section is getting mullered. So I think that on a 1 and 2 added together, the junior leader for this section will get his rifleman to continue suppressive fire on the woods. Soviet phase. So double phase. I'll try and remember this time. Chain of command point to the Germans. 1 for the Soviets. 2 and a 3. Now, Scout section. They can act as a jump-off point. And what I might do here, I was thinking about deploying a section forward so they can take on the MG42, but I think they're going to go to the left-hand edge of these woods and take on the German section on the rise. They're in the open. Now the MG34 is in Overwatch, so we'll be able to fire back. They are in arc, but the Soviets will be firing first. 12 dice hitting on 4s. Well, there we go, that's pretty average. Let's do the gun team first. Now they are in the open. 3-4 shock, 5-6 kill. 2 shock, 1 kill. Do the kill in a moment. And on the rifle team, 1 shock, 1 kill. Now, is one of those kills on the junior leader? No, it's not. So he's gone, and he's gone. And the MG34 fires back. 7 dice because of the shock. 3 hits. 2 hits on the rifle team. Now it is light cover, so that's no effect. And 1 on the gun team. Also no effect. Oh dear. And on a 3, it's a point of shock off here. And that section, what's left of it, will fire back at the MG42. 6 dice hitting on 5s. Well, that's a crunchy 3 hits there. All on this one team. 2 shock. Follow on phase for the Soviets. And that is looking very nice. 2 1s, a 2, a 3 and a 4. First up, it's the sniper. He's going against the MG42 team, and of course Kruger's there as well. These are 3. That's a hit. 3-4 shock, 5-6 kill. Oh, that's another kill. Now, has Kruger caught it up? Oh, he has. Obviously, the sniper's picked out the officer. What's happened to him? Knocked out. Down he goes. Well, I think he's stunned is the terminology. So we'll do an immediate bad things happen. 4 is -1. Right, the Soviets are going to put the hammer down. On the other one, they're going to drag their Maxim up this little rise, plonk it down. It's in the open, and they're going to smash the MG42. They're taking a risk here, but I think it's worth it. So it's tripod mounted, effective range, 10 dice, hitting on 5s. And that's 4 hits, all on that one team. And they are in hard cover, but that is 2 shock and 1 kill. And with that, there's 2 operators there, 3 dead and 4 shock. That means they're going to break. They'll run away 2d6 plus 6, which is 12. And I think they're going to scuttle away behind that barn. And there they are, cowering. They can be rallied and get back into action, but they'll obviously need a leader with them. And all of a sudden, the objective is wide open. Soviets need to take advantage. So this section of the woods is going to right turn and leg it for the objective. Now, they're in the woods, it's broken ground, so they can't double, unfortunately. 2d6. 6. Not brilliant. On a 3, I'm going to get this section to move further up here. Probably shouldn't have put them where they are, but there we go. There we go, 9. Well, that's more than enough. And they'll make a break for it next phase. And finally, let's not forget the inferior senior leader for the 4. He'll activate, take that point of shock off. But actually, looking at it now, there's no enemy within their arcs, and the German rifle section to the right, the other side of the river, can't be seen. So that's it. Before I forget, I need to roll for team breaking. 3. Well, that's -1, and the Germans are on 8 force morale. And now the Germans get a double phase, and a chain of command point for each side. Plenty of those going around at the moment. 1 and a 4. Well, I'll tell you what, on that 1 and 4, I can do absolutely bugger all. Senior leader is down. I've got to wait for the end of turn. The team, which could activate on a 1, are leaderless and therefore can't rally any shock. So that is it, unless I decide to play a chain of command dice. They've got 9 points, and end the turn, which I think I'll do. So Kruger is up. Suppressing fire ceases, and I think everybody else is in situ and nothing else changes. So we're straight into the German follow-on phase. Well, double phase again. 1 chain of command point, 2 and a 3. On a 3, this German junior leader will get his section to look left and open fire on the Soviets as they come out of the wood. He'll take a point of shock off as well. 8 dice for the MG34, 3 for the rifleman, the other couple are obscured. So it's 11 in total, close range. However, Soviets are going to hit the deck for 3 chain of command points. Needing 4s. And that's a cracking 7 hits. They'll do 3 hits on the gun team on the left. That'll be 1 shock, 1 kill. And 4 on the rifle team, which is 2 shock. Right, here's the kill on the junior leader. No, it's not. So, gunner operator goes. And I'm afraid it's more bad news for the Soviets, as the third and final German section will deploy into that entrenchment from the jump-off point in the objective. A funny old thing, that's the target. 14 dice hitting on 4s. And that's another 6 hits. 3 on the gun team. Oh my word, 3 kills. Dear oh dear. And 3 on the rifle team. Just the 1 shock. Now, is the junior leader hit? Yes, he is. What's happened to him? Whoa, browners. So that's one of those gone. That will mean the other 2 kills go on that gun team and they're gone. Disaster for the Soviets there. Now, a couple of bad things happen. First of all, junior leader killed. -2. And team wiped out. -1. All of a sudden, the Soviets are on 5 force morale. And this section here is leaderless and stranded in the open. Looking from the Soviet start point here, they're not doing particularly well now, unfortunately. They've got the scout section here in the woods, and just forward of that, they've got another section that's just been smashed in the open by a German section there rushing out to the entrenchment after the gun team ran away. The platoon commander's there as well. They've got another section here on the high ground pouring down fire into that section, who are going to have to shift out of there rather rapido. Back further in the woods, they've still got the sniper active, and the scout section, not quite sure what they're going to do now. And further back here, there's another section loitering in the woods. I'm not quite sure what they're doing here, actually. Probably shouldn't be there. And over on the Soviet right flank, the Maxim gun on the high ground here needs to get back into action and start smashing into the Germans in the objective area as well. And the heavy section been hit hard in those little woods. So it's not looking quite as easy for the Soviets here. And let's not forget, the Germans have got another phase. Well, fortunately for the Soviets, it's not another double phase. Right, chain of command point, 1, 2, 4, 4. Rinse, repeat here. The junior leader will activate on the 1 and 2 added together. Take a point of shock off here. And we got 11 dice banging into the Soviets to the right as we look. Hitting on 4s. Not quite so good this time. However, it's all on one team now. Another point of shock. That could have been worse. But on a 4, Kruger will activate the section in the entrenchment, and this is the target again. 14 dice hitting on 4s. And that is a horrific 8 hits. 4, 5 shock, 6 kill. Well, that's another 3 shock and 1 kill. So they've now got 5 with 7 and are pinned. That's the end of the German phase. Things are getting critical now. Soviet phase. Not a brilliant roll. 2 chain of command points. That's a full dice plus 2. A 2 and 2 4s. Well, I guess on one of the 4s, it's the inferior leader getting this LMG section, or team, what's left of it, to fire at the entrenchment by the objective. 6 dice hitting on 5s. 2 hits. 1 hit on the MG team in the entrenchment. No effect. And 1 hit on the rifle team. They'll just get light cover because they're not really supposed to be in that entrenchment. And that's a kill. Right, is that on a leader? No. The dead are piling up behind that fence. Before I do anything else, and before I forget, I'm going to pay 3 chain of command points and do a reposition for this section. I'm going to try and get back in those trees. Which they do nicely. And they'll remain pinned in those trees. On a 2, this section is going to sprint across this gap. 10. Like the scouts before them, that's just enough. Now, there was a potential of react fire from the Germans there, but I'm going to use chain of command points for something else. And the second 4 will see Furkov come out. And again, because of the angle of things, he's going to have to go this way and hide behind the trees. That's about all he can do. He needs to start sprinting, catch up with the rest of them, and start doing something. German phase. So 6 does nothing, 1 chain of command. They now have a full dice. 1, 1, 4. Right, on a 4, old Kruger in here is going to get this section to activate, and they'll fire at those chaps who've just repositioned back in the woods. 14 dice, hitting on 4s. 6 hits. Now this time there'll be hard cover in the woods and they're pinned. 5 shock, 6 kill. So that's 1 shock, 1 kill. And that's 4 of them with 8 shock, so I'm afraid they are going to break. 2d6 plus 6. So that's 12. So there they are, this broken section running straight past this section who are trying to advance. Not good for morale. And that's about how things happen. 2. Unfortunately for the Soviets, there's no effect. But on a 2, this section is going to open up on the Soviets that have just crossed that gap. They can see a couple of them, and they're going to start putting the rounds down. In fact, I think it's a bunch target, because they've got this section that's just run away, and this section is just advancing, and they're going to hit these people here. So I think Soviets are going to have to pay 3 chain of command points and hit the deck. And I think that's just for 1 unit. So they are hitting the deck. They are not. So they're still in the open. Could be nasty. Hitting on 4s, effective range, bunch target. Well, just for 3 hits. So it'll be 2 on them, 1 on them. So 2 on the broken section is a kill and a shock. And 1 on these chaps be light cover, so that will no effect. Now I don't think they can break any more, but they do go another 2d6 plus 6. Another 15. To be honest, they're off the table. So that's the end of phase for the Germans. I've got a full chain of command dice which I'm now going to play, and that is the end of turn. It's the end of the second turn, and that means, having held the objective to this stage, they can start the final countdown. Soviets have a force morale of 5, so we've got 5 phases before sudden death. The pressure is certainly on the Soviets now. Still got 5 chain of command dice. Well, interesting. Double phase. 1 chain of command point for the Germans. 1, 2, 2. Well, I'll tell you what, we haven't seen the sniper for a long time. He's going to have a pop. Needs a 3. And that's a hit in the open. And that's a kill. Now, is it on a leader? Oh, God, it is again. Now, it's either the junior leader or Unterfeldwebel Kruger. It's on the junior leader. What's happened to him? He is stunned. That's about how things happen. 5. -1, Germans are on 7. Over to the Soviet right flank. We've got the inferior senior leader who will activate on the 2-2s added together. Firstly, he's going to get the LMG to fire here. And then he's going to get the Maxim to fire here. I may have missed that earlier. LMG first. 6 dice hitting on 5s. Crunchy 3. So we'll have 2 on the rifle team. That is no effect. They're just light cover. And 1 on the gun in the entrenchment. No effect. Okay. And now the Maxim's going to let rip with 10 dice. Hitting on 5s. 2 on the gun team. Hard cover. No effect. 3 on the rifles. 2 shock. Dear, oh dear. Not good enough. End of phase. 4 to go. Alright, Germans. 1 chain of command point. 1, 1, 4, 4. Not overly useful. So Kruger will activate here. 3 command initiatives. I think he'll take a point of shock off these chaps. And machine gewehr with the MG34. And that means storm of steel. And the target is the heavy section here. Hitting on 5s. So 1 storm of steel. And that's a total of 5 hits. Soft cover, 4-5 shock, 6 kill. And that's 3 shock. And they're just about okay. And the 2 ones added together, this section will fire again at this section over here. They've hit the dirt, so they'll be in light cover. Effective range, 12 dice, hitting on 5s. 5 hits. So I think they can just about hit the gun team through the woods there anyway. So it's 2 on them. 1 shock. And 3 on the rifles. 2 shock, 1 kill. Is the kill on the junior leader? No. End of phase. 3 to go. Right, 6 does nothing. 1 chain of command point. They're up to 3. And 3 2s. So inferior senior leader, he will activate the Maxim and the LMG there. And you know what? I'll do them all together. 16 dice, hitting on 5s. Well, that's 2 hits on the gun team. 2 shock. And 3 on the rifles. 4-5 shock, 6 kill. 2 shock, 1 kill. Is the kill on Kruger? No. 1 or 2, this section will finally move out of the firing line. And I think they'll move up past the scouts. Right, so they go 8, less 2, 6. Well, obviously not. 2 more phases. Right, 6 does nothing. 1 chain of command. Both sides now have 3 chain of command points. 1, 2, 3. Well, on a 2, we're going to activate the left-hand German section. We haven't seen them for ages, and they're going to smash the Soviet section just to the left of those trees. They didn't think about this, did they? 11 dice, hitting on 5s. That's pretty rubbish. So 1 hit on the gun. They're in the open though, so that's 1 shock. And 2 on the rifles. 1 kill. Is that on the junior leader? No. 1 and 3 added together. Kruger will do exactly the same as last time. He'll take a point of shock off here. And machine gewehr with the MG34. 9 dice this time because they've got 2 points of shock. Hitting on 5s, Storm of Steel. Well, that's 4 hits immediately, and another 3 coming up. Another 1. And again. And again. And again. God, can you believe it? Check it out. I mean, that is just absolutely extraordinary. How many is that? 9 hits. Dear, oh dear. Right, let's get my wits about me after all that excitement. It's soft cover, 4-5 shock, 6 kill. Well, could have been better. 4 shock and 1 kill. Is that on a leader? It is. Now we've got the junior leader there and the inferior senior leader. Which one is it? Senior leader. What's happened to him? Ah, look. He's knocked out, or whatever it is. Right, bad things happen for that. 1, -1, Soviets are on 4. However, 1 chap on the gun, 1 junior leader, 7 shock, routing. 2d6 plus 6. 7, 13, they're off the table. So that's the team breaks. -1, down to 3. And because the junior leader is off the table, oh dear, -2. Soviets are on 1 force morale. Well, it's all looking a bit hopeless for Furkov and his gang. Force morale at 1, 2 chain of command dice. Final phase of the final countdown. 1 and a 4. So on a 1, the Maxim will crack on again. 10 dice, hitting on 5s. Not bad, 4 hits. 2 on the gun team. Wow, that's a kill. And 2 on the rifle section. Another kill. Now, is that on Kruger? Oh, he's been hit. What's happened to him? He's knocked out. Stunned. So one of those goes. Another casualty. Bad things happen for Kruger. Well, 6 is never good. That is -2. And now the Germans are on 5 force morale. And on a 4, I'll tell you what, we haven't seen him yet, but it's the Commissar to the rescue to whip everybody into a frenzy. They can immediately deploy next to any unit. So he's right up the front there, screaming words of encouragement to everybody. He'll use 1 chain of command point to get the sniper team operating. Needing a 3. That's a hit. He's going for the gun team here. They count as in the open. Oh, another kill. Well, that's the crew member gone. And that section is getting gradually whittled away, and of course the leaders are both down. And I guess from a Soviet perspective, I've got nothing to lose by using as many chain of command points with this Commissar as I can. So, what can he do now? I think he'll tell this section to move up to the edge of the woods. Can't take any shock off because he's not right next to them at the moment. So it's 2d6 -2. Okay, 7, which is pretty good. So now they're right next to the Commissar. I'll allow him to take off 2 points of shock. Rallying the troops. That's the end of the Soviet turn. Germans still have 5 dice. 6 does nothing. 2 chain of commands. 3 and a 4. Not overly useful. So the 4's no good because Kruger is down. And that junior leader. So I've only got 3 to work with. And I think the junior leader is going to activate the gun and go for machine gewehr and smash the Soviets in that little wood again. 10 dice hitting on 4s, Storm of Steel. No Storm of Steel. So it's 2 dice on the gun team. That's 1 shock. They've got light cover in there. And 2 on the rifle team. 2 shock. I'll get my mitts into those trees and sort that out. Right, it is sudden death. Well, it was sudden death last turn. But that, I'm afraid, is it. Play continues until 2 or more 6s occurs, ending the game instantly. So there we go. And I'm sorry, my old China, Lt Alexi Furkov, you have done absolutely nothing for this whole scenario. Stuck here at the back and let everybody else crack on. Not good enough, mate. Look, I mean, we've had carnage here crossing the gap. We've had carnage in front of the wood where one of the sections effectively got destroyed. Commissar came late on the scene to try and galvanise some action, but it was too little too late. Germans were in danger of cracking in the middle. That section's not looking good, and the leaders are down. Obviously the gun team ran away, but they've got a complete section on the right as we look here, and a complete section on the left as we look there. So there we go. Not good enough by the Soviets today. They'll have to do a rerun. Good fun.